إيه؟ على رسوله الكريم. Must tell me when it's Kareem thing is on and on and so on. So we were discussing this hadith yesterday, this beautiful hadith about this person that traveled all the way from Medina to Munawwara to Damascus to meet Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And then he gave him a beautiful hadith with regards to the virtue of acquiring knowledge. He gave him a beautiful hadith, and we told you it could be that this is the hadith which he traveled to here because he heard it briefly before, or it even could be that this hadith he just mentioned to him by the way, right? He said, since you've come all the way, I will mention. Then the last part we discussed of the hadith here was that the fish in the ocean, the birds in the sky, they make dua for the scholar of deen. And what is the reason why? You wonder why? What is the fish in the ocean? The fish in the ocean, the bird in the sky. Why should they make dua? Tell him the cat is here. Why would they make dua for the scholar of deen, for the person learning deen? And the reason is Allah Ta'ala has given every single of his creation a certain level and a certain degree of understanding. Obviously, the intelligence is not as developed as the human intelligence, but they have a certain degree of intelligence. And proof we got, there's nothing except that it engages in the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So every single thing, it has some degree of shu'ur, some degree of perception. Like even if you look at the hadith, the Prophet before he begot Nubuwwat, the trees used to make salam to him. There was a science all to prepare for Nubuwwat. Stones used to make salam for them. So they show you they have a degree of life in them. So they also know and they realize, like I told you, that as long as there's somebody in this dunya that is saying Allah, Allah, the world will continue. So as long as there are people encouraging, calling towards good, they will exist. But the moment they stop, they will cease to exist. So their existence also depends. Their existence is contingent upon what? Upon the alim learning, teaching, teaching people, etc. So they also owe the existence, or they lend the existence to the existence of the alim. Hence, they also make dua for the alim of deen. So here the author has brought the interesting discussions. We're speaking about the alim of deen. He speaks about three types of alim. You see, it just be nice if you can note it down. Alimun bi amrillah, alimun billah, alimun billahi wa alimun bi amrillah. So three types of ulama that you get. So alimun bi amrillah, in simple words, what he's saying is that scholar, he's only acquainted with the external knowledge. Like he knows the Messiah well, he knows the hadith well. You tell him what is the Messiah, he'll give you the answer. You ask him this hadith, he'll give you the hadith, etc., etc. But he does not have the special connection with Allah Ta'ala. So this term is nisbat. Nisbat means you got a special connection of Allah Ta'ala. Now, those people who got nisbat, they got a connection of Allah Ta'ala, they can recognize who are the people who have nisbat. So one is alimun bi amrillah, that not the alim. He knows the Messiah. You ask him, read the Ibarat, he can read it forward to you. He can do everything nicely. But he doesn't have the special connection of Allah Ta'ala. And how does the special connection of Allah Ta'ala come? That comes with abstaining from all the haram things and practicing on all the imtithalu awamirillah, fulfilling all the commands, wajtinabi nawahihi, abstaining from the haram, etc. And then spending company, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha wa kunu ma'as-sadiqeen. You spend time in the company of the pious people so they connect you to Allah Ta'ala. So the first one is only knows the external, he knows everything. The second one is this, that alim that he knows all the laws, right? He knows the laws more or less, he knows this is halal, this is haram, etc. He knows the basic laws, but he does not know the proofs, like how we do Hidayah Shareef, we do Mishkaat Shareef, and you do all the proofs. He doesn't know the proofs, right? But he has a special connection of Allah Ta'ala. He's linked to Allah Ta'ala. He has the nisbat with Allah Ta'ala, right? That is the second one. The third one is that one, he knows all the laws of Shariat. And with that, he knows the proofs and the dalai, like how you are studying. And with that, he got the special connection of Allah Ta'ala. He spent time in the company of the people of Allah Ta'ala, with the Ahlullah, and he's developed a connection with Allah Ta'ala, right? So yeah, he mentioned something interesting. The first one, they just know the laws. He just knows the laws. He doesn't have the special connection with Allah Ta'ala. For him, it's good enough. You can ask him, you got any law? Because you know the laws. You can ask him the laws. That's his field. That's his mastery. You ask him the laws. You just ask him the laws and that's where it stops. Then the second one, which I told you, that person, he knows the laws, right? What was the second one? He knows the laws, but he does not know the proofs. He knows the laws, but he doesn't know the proofs, right? But he has a special connection of Allah Ta'ala. He has a special connection of the. So yes, you can spend time in him. He can teach you how to love Allah Ta'ala. He can teach you the love of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. He can teach you how to draw close to Allah Ta'ala. But don't ask him the Masail. Then the third one, that one who knows the laws with the proofs, and he's got a special connection with Allah Ta'ala. In Arabic, they say kibritun ahmar. Normally in Arabic, when something is very, very rare, very, very, it's like a red, it's like a kibritun ahmar, it's like a rare red jewel, right? So this is the one who you must spend time with him. You must spend time with him, and you must learn the Masail from him. And this is the one he say that whom the birds in the sky, the fish in the oceans, the insects, everybody, they make dua for this person. So this is the person who we say that the alim, all the creatures of Allah Ta'ala make dua. Okay, so that was with regards to the alim. Then the next part of the hadith here says, وَإِنَّ فَضْلَ, let's see, it goes like this here. وَإِنَّ فَضْلَ العالم على العابد كفضل القمر ليلة البدر على سائر الكواكب. Verily, the virtue of the scholar upon the worshipper, he is like the virtue of the moon on the 14th night over all the stars. So, you know, the 14th day the moon reaches its full glory. It's shining bright. So, if you look at the light of the moon as opposed to the light of the stars, the moon by far outshines the stars. The moon by far outshines many, many fold. So yeah, Nabi Sallallahu saying that the person who is well grounded in knowledge, and here we speak about the person who has the external and the internal knowledge. He has that nisbat with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, then his virtue or his brightness is like the brightness of the moon compared to the stars, right? So yeah, the author say this is a very, very unique. This is a very unique. Um, this is a very unique comparison that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave. This comparison of comparing, because they say, look here, the moon, wherever it is, in the 14th night, wherever it is, it gives off light. That's the first thing. Wherever the moon is, it gives off light. It does not restrict its light from certain places. So that's the first thing. That an alim gives off his light wherever it is. That's the first thing. The second thing is this here. So we're saying the first thing is like how the moon, its light is not restricted. It gives to everybody. So the alim's knowledge is supposed to benefit every single person. Then the second, we know that the moon is not the source of its own light. Where does the moon get its light from? Where does the moon get its light from? From the sun. The light on the moon is in fact it is a reflection of the sun. That is why when you get the eclipse, when the earth comes between the sun and the moon got no light, isn't it? So like that also, the alim is not the source of his own light. Where did the light come from? We done this hadith. We done it. أنا القاسم والله المعطي. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. What the Vision said, Allah Ta'ala is the one who gives knowledge, and I'm just the distribution point, remember? So that's like how the moon doesn't produce his own light. His light comes from the sun. So same thing, Alim, he doesn't produce his own knowledge. Allah Ta'ala is the one who give him. Allah Ta'ala, he get the written text. And if something, that people, this person who practice upon what he knows, Allah Ta'ala give him knowledge of the unseen. I gave you the examples of Mala Ashraf Ali Tanwi, 1,000 books, but he done a normal dars in his army. So that is where Allah Ta'ala give you barakat in your knowledge. When you practice upon what you learned, Allah Ta'ala give you barakah in your knowledge, right? So there's a second comparison that how the moon gets its light from the sun. We get our light from the niche of nubuwwat that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the general masses who, like how we said, the moon is compared to the stars. The general masses, they are compared to the stars, right? And I tell you, the alim is like the sun, like the moon. And the niche of nubuwwat is the sun. So like how in front of the moon, the stars are like nothing, right? And like how the moon in front of the sun is like nothing. So how, no matter how great alim you have in front of nubuwwat, in front of the prophet and the prophets in general, an alim is nothing. That's why we tell you that according to us, no matter how great or pious a person is, he cannot even reach the lowest nabi, right? And then the stars, like how it is nothing in front of the moon, in front of an alim, it will be like nothing. Right, so I told you it was a unique comparison. So the ulama in front of Nabi Sallam, they are like nothing. And the awamun nas in front of the alim is like nothing. Then, وَإِنَّ الْعُلَمَاءَ وَرَثَةُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ. There's the ulama, they are the heirs of the anbiya, alayhimus salatu wa taslim. So what's an heir? An heir is that person that when you pass away, whatever you have, it must go to him. When you pass away, like you got wealth, you got car, you got property, you got gold, you got silver, whatever. So your heir is that person who must get, he has a share in every single thing you leave. So the heir, like you done this must study. When a person passes away, then you have a share in it. You can't say that only this belongs to me, this house belongs to this heir, or that belongs. You know this. You done this must. When somebody passes away, you have a share in every single aspect of that person's estate. Yeah, after you divide, okay, you take this money, you take this house, but you have a share in every single thing. So that is a speciality of an heir. An heir is the one who has a share in every. His right in the estate is not restricted to a particular thing. So, like, when a person passes away, every single item, every single house, every single plate, everybody is equal in that. Yes, you make taqsim afterwards, that's it, but technically speaking, if you are one of 6 heirs, you have your 1/6 share in everything. So, same thing here, we're saying, when a Nabi passes away, then the Nabi is saying that the ulama are the heirs of the Nabi. So, they have a share, they have a legacy, they have a share in every part of his legacy. So we're supposed to have, so that shows you as an alim, you cannot only say, do you want to have a share in the knowledge of Allah, of Nabi Sallallahu, or in, you have to continue the legacy of every single thing, whether it is akhlaq, whether it is his mu'amalat, whether it is his ulum, whether it is his amanat, whether it is his diyanat, or whether it is ma'ashiyat, or whether it's mu'asharat, mu'amalat, your dealings, mu'asharat, your interpersonal dealings. So this is a clear indication that there's an alim of deen is not only the heir, or he doesn't only continue the legacy of the dissemination of knowledge, but he's supposed to be in every aspect, the abstemious nature of the dunya and the simplicity and the akhlaq, etc., etc. So that is an heir. An heir is who continue the complete legacy of the person who he is inheriting. You understand what I'm saying? da'wat, jihad, ibadat, spiritual exercises, everything. If you only, if you think as an alim you're only gonna you're gonna be only in knowledge whatever, and you're not gonna pay attention to the other aspects of like the character of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he's exerting himself in his ibadat, or his efforts in jihad, or his efforts in humanitarian. You know, we done it hadith yesterday. جاء ومجتابون النمار مجتابين النمار فتمطر وجه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. When there was a need to provide, Nabi was there to provide. Nabi was on the forefront of every single aspect himself, personally, how many battles he took place in. So when you say al-ulama warathatul anbiya, and is that person who he succeeds, he's a successor in every single aspect. So as an alim, if you think that alim is only knowledge, then you are mistaken. You in every single aspect of the life of Nabi Sallallahu, according to your capacity, according to your passivity, you're supposed to be involved in that, right? So here we're saying al-alimu bi-amrillahi, al-alimu bi-amrillahi wa billahi. The alim that knows Allah and he knows the laws of Allah Ta'ala. So we told you the one is the one who got nisbat, that is the one we're talking about. So yeah, when Nabi Sallam said, Al-ulama lam yuwarithu dinara wala dirhama. The Anbiya, they don't leave, they know their legacy is not physical things. Physical things are things that perish. Physical things are things that perish. When you die, you don't take it with you to the grave. When you die, you don't take it with you to the grave. So they have something much more greater. They have a greater legacy than physical things, abstract things. But their legacy that they leave, that came down to us via Sahaba Ikram and the Tabi'in, and came to us from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it is the great legacy of ilm and nubuwwat. It's of spirituality. That's why also the Nabi Sallam said in the hadith, he clearly said that la nuras, that we as the Anbiya, we are not inherited physically, like how, you know, when a person died and your goods is distributed amongst your heirs. The Nabi Sallam clearly said that when we die, well, this is a separate subject matter, but whatever we leave behind, it is sadaqah. Ma tarakna fa sadaqatun. This is a different discussion also with the difference between us and the Shias. The Shias say that as Abu Bakr denied as the Fatima radiallahu ta'ala of her inheritance, because Nabi as Abu Bakr said this hadith, Ma tarakna fa sadaqatun. Whatever we leave, it's sadaqah, it must go in charity. So the accused of Hazrat Abu Bakr of denying Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala of her inheritance. But Nabi clearly said that our legacy that we leave is not physical things. Our inheritance, what we leave is ilm and nubuwwat. The physical things we leave, it goes in charity, and we discussed this before, right? Our simple answer to Shias, if as Abu Bakr denied as Fatima of inheritance, when as Ali was made the Khalifa, why he never claimed that back? When he came, he never said, oh, this is the goods of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it must come back to our family. He never do it. So that was they show you, he endorsed the decision of as Abu Bakr. You understand what I'm saying? Simple answer you give to the Shias. Even like, you know, they say that as Umar outlawed mut'a and all those type of things. We say, okay, if you say as Umar, and they say that Tarawih namaz was a fabrication of as Umar, we say, okay, it was a fabrication of Umar. But tell me, when as Ali came into power, why he never do away with this? Because remember, they only believe as Ali was the rightful. Why he never say bring back mut'a? You know what mut'a I'm talking about? Why he never abolish the Tarawih? Why he never take the good and say, no, this garden of Sadaq belongs to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so now it must go back to my sons as Hassan and Hussein. He never do that. So you see that when he had the opportunity, he endorsed and he ratified the decisions of what you call of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhum. But anyway, this is a total separate subject matter. We'll do it another stage. The main thing I was saying here is this here, that the true legacy of the Anbiya is to succeed Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in every single aspect whatsoever, to follow in every footstep of his. Okay, let's look at the next hadith. Read the next hadith. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أبي أمامة الباهلي قال ذكر لرسول اسم رجلان إن أحدهما عابد. Two people were mentioned to Rasul. One of them is the Abin. He exerts himself in his worship, and he knows the basic laws. Both of you can't be the Abid if you don't know the basic laws. You know the basic laws, what's as far as in namaz, how to read salah, what's as halal, what's as haram. Because if you don't know that basic, you can't be an abid, right? Well, akharu alimun, and the other one, he is well grounded in Islamic sciences. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فضل العالم على العبد كفضل على أدناكم سبحان الله. When the Rasul said the virtue of an alim upon an abid, a scholar of a worshipper, كفضل على أدناكم, is like my virtue over the lowest of you. Imagine what difference there is between a Nabi and the lowest Sahabi. There's heaven and earth difference. So you see, understand, so that the virtue of a alim of deen and a non-alim is like the virtue of between a nabi and a non-nabi. كفضل على أدناكم. ثم قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله وملائكته, Allah Ta'ala, his angels, وأهل السماوات والأرض, and the inhabitants of the sky and earth, حتى النملة في جحرها. You got جحرها there. Huh? Yeah, I got you. Same mistake last time. Hujri means room. So there's also a mistake. I must correct it. Right? So even to the extent of the ants, fi juhriya, in its hole, وحتى الحوت, and even the fish, لا يصلون على معلم الناس الخير. They make dua and they pray for that person who teaches the people good things, adab, etiquette, whatever. رواه الترمذي, Imam Tirmidhi narrates, وروى الدارمي عن مكحول, and Darami also got another riwayat from Akhul, Mursal riwayat. It means the Sahabi not mentioned. وَلَمْ يَذْكُرْ رَجُلَانِ. His riwayat doesn't have this first part here, رَجُلَانِ أَحَدُهُمَا عَابِدٌ الْآخَرُ. It only got from here. From this, Darami's riwayat got, وَقَالَ فَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ. The virtue of an alim or an abid, كَفَضْلِ عَدَنَاكُمْ, like my virtue upon the lowest of you. ثُمَّ تَلَا هَذِهِ الْآيَةِ. And then he recited this, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. In the virtue of Darami, but they verily إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. It's only the ulama, those the people who have knowledge that truly fear Allah. وسرد الحديث على آخره. Then Darami brought the rest of the hadith till the end. So yeah, again we see the virtue of an alim, a person who has knowledge. That, as I told you, imagine the difference between a Nabi and a non-Nabi. The difference is unimaginable. The difference is inconceivable. So that is the virtue of a alim, of an abid. Allah Ta'ala make us true ulama so we can also become the misdaq of this.
So this level of virtue, you
So sometimes they say you something is unquantifiable. Something is unquantifiable, but you just use words to express it. Words can't really express it. So they say here that look here, a Nabi's virtue is so much you can't over a non-Nabi. You can't really even express this in words. There's no words, but you say it's not something which can be understood, but you just try to use the closest words to express it. Similar to like how we say, ayat mutashabiha. How Allah Ta'ala's hand truly is. How Allah Ta'ala's hand truly is. How Allah Ta'ala's face. We can't really understand, but we say we only understand the English language and we know face. We know hand, so we use those words to understand. Allah Ta'ala used those words to understand it. So similar here, he's saying that if you look at the difference between a Nabi and because we don't even know what is a Nabi, we even understood the relief, but so it's something which cannot be expressed in words, but just like how you say in others, I can't find the words to express this. You leave me speechless. I don't have adequate words to explain this. It is something which is ununderstood. We cannot be expressed in words, but this is the only words we have, so we express it in these words. So like how it is unimaginable. We can't really conceive, we can't comprehend the difference between a Nabi and the lower Sahabi. Similar, we can't really comprehend the difference between an alim of deen and a non-alim. Okay, so you can see the reason why there's so much virtue of an alim, because he is the guide, he is the one to show the people the road, he's the one to take you to Jannah. Without knowledge, none of this can be acquired. Okay, let's do one more hadith just before we switch over to the Hidayah Sharif, inshallah.
وعن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الناس لكم تبع وإن الإسلام قال الأمر إذا أجبتم فاستوفوا خيرا.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أبي سعيد الخدري قال قال رسول إن الناس لكم تبع. Verily people will follow you, they will come after you. وإن رجالا يأتونكم من أقطار الأرض, and verily men will come to you from the corners of the earth. يتفقهون في الدين, come to learn from you deen. فإذا أتوكم, when they come to you, فاستوصوا بهم خيرا, then accept my request to do good with them. رواه الترمذي, Imam Tirmidhi narrates this hadith. If you look at this hadith, besides the relevance of this hadith of this chapter, this is also a miracle. That Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he is very accurately and very confidently predicting that after I pass away, many, many lands will come under the control of the Muslims, and people will come to Medina to study. It shows you how confident he was. Show you how confident he was that Islam will grow. Islam will be, a dominant force. Unlike, I tell you also, of the Qadianis, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, how many predictions he made? All his predictions failed. All of his predictions failed. He made a prediction. He said in 300 years' time, he told him that the Qadianis, they will rule the whole world. They will be the dominant force in the whole world. I tell him, you people are, if you look at more or less the same time Darul Uloom Deoband was established, maybe now over 100 years, at the same time the Qadiani movement came into vogue. I say your Qadiani movement, after 110 years, you are only about 10 million in the world. So after 110 years, you grew by 10 million. So now, if you grow 10 million every 100 years, how long is it going to take for you to control the whole world? It's going to take another trillion years. So all his predictions have failed and come to naught. A lot of predictions he made. But if you look at the predictions, how accurate the predictions of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was, we done, la بيت مدر ولا وبر إلا يدخل هذا الأمر. Remember that hadith. So yes, there's another accurate prediction of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that, in fact, inshallah, as I told you, from here we're going to jump from here Kitab al-Fitan. Then we'll make other arrangements for you to do Kitab al-Taharat and Kitab al-Salah also, maybe this year or next year. So there you'll do so many of the predictions that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made that will happen closer to the hour, how they are manifesting itself. So this is also a miracle in that what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam predicted, that look, that when I pass away, Islam will grow. And I told you, in the time of as Abu Bakr, his time was a period of stabilization, because after Nabi sallallahu passed away, there was some upheaval, there were opportunists. 2 years as Abu Bakr consolidated a fluid and a liquid situation. He brought all the renegades under book. So as Umar became the stable Khilafat. In his Khilafat of 13 to 14 years, the whole of Sham was brought under Islam. And then as Uthman radiallahu ta'ala's Khilafat, the whole of North Africa was brought under Islam. But then unfortunately, like we'll do in Kitab al-Fitan, and we'll do in Aqidat al-Tahawiyah. Unfortunately, the plan of Allah Ta'ala, then in the middle of Uthman's Khilafat, then the fitna started, and that obviously broke the back. Although then when the Abbasids came into power, then again they took Islam forward, but then there was a break there because now there was internal strife. But that we will do in detail, inshallah. Anyway, we're saying that this hadith and another miracle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we accurately predicted. So say, people will follow you. You are going to be the leaders for the people that will come after you. They're going to follow in your footsteps. and they will seek knowledge from you. Besides this being a accurate prediction, it also supports our Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Remember what we told you. What do we say? Quran, Sunnah, and Jama'ah. Jama'ah is the Sahaba Ikram. We follow Ahlul Sunnah. We believe in the Sunnah and we believe in the Haqqaniyat, the truthfulness of the Jama'at. That is the group of Nabi Sallallahu Sahaba Ikram and the Tabi'een. So see, people are going to come and follow you. So it shows you you will be the most knowledgeable. You will be the most accurate and you will be known by the deen of Islam the most, the best. And that's who we are. Aminu kama amana nas. Oh, you believe like how the people believe. Who are the people that believe? It is the Sahaba Ikram, right? So this is a clear indication that the benchmark of excellence are the Sahaba Ikram. If you want to see you are on deen, then you have to see where you are in relation to other Sahaba. And there's many other hadiths beside this. عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء ما أنا عليه وأصحابي, etc. Right? Istaw, something come on a scale of istaf ala means to seek. So istaw, so you seek from me good advice. Take from me, like I say, it means take it from me. Take it from me. This is a bad idea. So take this good, like Allah said, istawsu bin nisa'i khayra. Also hadith. Take this good advice from me that you must be good. Take this advice from me. Istawsu, take this wasiyah. Wasiyah means take this advice from me. Istawsu bin nisa, that you're going to be good to your women folk. You're going to be good to them. وَعَاشِرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. So take this from me, accept it from me. Istaf ala scale. When it comes to something like istaf ala means to seek. So seek from me the advice of doing good with your wife. So yeah, istawsu. So take this advice from me that when these people come to you to study the knowledge, you will be good to them.
You know, now you know when you're making use of your.
So from this, you learn also something that when somebody comes to you to seek deen, you must be good to them. That is why often you see that the ulama, they say, people that goes out in pursuit of knowledge, they refer to them as the guest of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, students of deen, because Nabi Sallam pleaded on their behalf. Nabi Sallam said, "Istawsu," that فَإِذَا أَتَوْكُمْ فَاسْتَوْسُوا بِهِمْ خَيْرًا. When these people come to you to study knowledge, فَاسْتَوْسُوا, then seek advice, him with regards to about doing good. So anybody who goes out in pursuit of knowledge, they are the guest of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you must see to their needs, whatever they need, assist them, assist a student, and make the intention that you are making amal upon this hadith. That my Nabi sallam, he exhorted me that I must do good to the people who come to seek knowledge. I must do good to the people who come to seek the knowledge of deen, right? Okay, let's stop there, inshallah. We'll use the same link to go to Hidayah. Ismail, you can carry on to your class, inshallah.
Now, where do you go?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويخلص
في جميع سنتي
جميع السنة شافعي في غير النصف الأخير
في النصف الأخير
yes في غير
في غير النصف الأخير من رمضان
الكلام رضي الله تعالى حين علمه الدعاء حتى في وتر من غير فصل
من غير فصل. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We started the chapter of witr, and we said thus far that witr is also a wajib thing. And alhamdulillah, in the last lesson, we gave you a lot of detail. We explained in detail what is wajib. We gave you that. I hope you captioned it properly. Must put there that explanation of what is wajib, inshallah. Right? So wajib is not as strong as farz, and it's not as weak as sunnah. It's in between. It resembles a farz in the sense that you have to do it, and it resembles a sunnah in the sense that if you deny it, you reject it, you don't come out of the fold of Islam. So from one angle, it's a farz. You're amalan, you have to do it. And from the angle of aqidah, if you reject it, you don't come out of the fold of Islam. When we discussed that, and we gave the proofs, little proofs, and we told you that more proofs you do in the hadith kitabs, Daras Tirmizi, all that type of thing, all the proofs, counter proofs, all the hadith, all the 5, 10, 15 hadith, and the answers to the other madhaib, etc., etc. Then we also discussed that the next thing we discuss is that in the last lesson, that you will make your qunut after, in the last rakat, after you recite the surah Fatiha, and after you recite the surah, you will raise your hands, and then you will recite the dua of qunut, right? So the next masla is, according to us, that in your witr namaz, throughout the year, so according to the Hanafi madhab, that out of Ramadan, you will read your normal witr, right, after your sunnats, or preferably, the best thing is, if you are able to wake up early in the morning, to read your tahajjud namaz, and then just before the entry time of Fajr, you read your witr, right? So your witr throughout the year will be read individually, right? And in Ramadan, it is better to make it in Jamaat after the Tarawih namaz. That is the sunnah of Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. We were just discussing in Mishkaat Shareef now. We said that the Sahaba Ikram are also our benchmark of excellence, especially the Khulafa Arba'ah, and then Ashara Mubashara, and then those who were known as the jurists, like Ibn Mas'ud, Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Abbas. So, according to us, throughout the year, whether in Ramadan or out of Ramadan, whether you're reading alone, like out of Ramadan, or whether you're making in Jama'at in Ramadan for the men, if a woman finds herself in the haram, in Ramadan, whatever, then the same law applies. So they also, you will make throughout the year. So listen nicely, the qunut of witr. The qunut of witr is throughout the year according to the Hanafi madhab. It's not restricted to the last 10 days of Ramadan. Are you with me? So وَيَقْنُتُ, he will make qunut fi jami'i sanati, throughout the year. Right? According to Hanafi madhab in the witr, khilafan li-Shafi'i, contrary to Hazrat Imam Shafi, according to Hazrat Imam Shafi, right? Right, خلاف في غير النصف الأخير من Ramadan, contrary to Imam Shafi, in besides the last half of Ramadan, right? لقوله عليه السلام لحسن بن عبد علي حين علم دعاء القنوت اجعل هذا في وترك من غير فصل. And what's our proof to say you must make it throughout the year? Because we have the hadith in which Nabi Sallallahu told as Hassan, that is his grandson, that look here, after he taught him the qunut, that ij'al hadha fi witrika, put this in your witr. So Nabi Sallallahu never say, put this in the witr only in Ramadan or the end of Ramadan, etc. He said, just put it in your witr. So that just mutlaq, and you done, mashallah, you done usul fiqh, al-mutlaqu yajri ala itlaqihi. When something is mutlaq, it will remain mutlaq, right? Unlike the Shafis, they say, right, Hazrat Imam Shafi say you make it in the last 15 days in the witr. You make it in the last 15 days in the witr. In fact, their proof, they've got a hadith in which As Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu told Ubay ibn Ka'ab that when, remember, as Ubay ibn Ka'ab, as Umar is the one who formalized the Taraweeh namaz, and he made the Sahaba Ikram read Taraweeh namaz, and he made them read the witr also in Jamaat. So he told him that, look here, you read this kunut in the last 15 days of your witr, you read this. So that is their proof. So we got the proof here. We got the proof of the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is a mutlaq, and obviously what you say, a muttasil hadith is more preferable than a maqtu or mawquf riwayat, right? Read the next one.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ويقرأ في كل ركعة من الوتر فاتحة الكتاب وسورة لقوله تعالى فاقرأوا ما تيسر من القرآن وإن أراد أن يقرأ.
Okay, stop there. So now the next masala is this here. Now you know normally in Farz namaz, it is necessary to read in the first two rakats your Surah Fatiha in the Surah, and then in the second two rakats you can read Surah Fatiha if you're the Imam, right? But it is not necessary. You can read a Surah Fatiha if you want to, or you can make even tasbih, or you can even remain silent, right? So now in witr, because this is not a Farz namaz, you have to recite Surah Fatiha and a Surah in all three rakats. You understood? Because it is not exactly a Farz namaz, it's a wajib namaz. So in that sense, it resembles the Sunnat namaz. Because remember, in Sunnat namaz, you read in all the rakats, first two and second two, you read Surah Fatiha and you read a Surah. You with me? So وَيَقْرَأُ فِي كُلِّ رَكْعَةٍ مِنَ الْوِتْرِ. So this is where the witr differs from the Farz a bit. You will recite in every rakat of the witr Fatihat al-Kitabi, Surah Fatiha, wa suratan, and a surah with it, لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم, because the statement of the Wisdom, فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ, let's read whatever is easy from the Quran. And then here also, there's a clear hadith, this is the Masnoon Kirat. In fact, there are several Masnoon Kirat. One day I'll share with you people to read in the witr namaz. But here in the one is mentioned that قرأ في الأولى بسبح اسم ربك الأعلى. So inshallah we can practice, we can all try to practice upon this. That Nabi Sallallahu read in the first rakat of witr, سبح اسم ربك الأعلى. وفي الثانية قل يا أيها الكافرون. In the second rakat he said قل يا أيها الكافرون. وفي الثالثة قل هو الله أحد. In the third قل أحد. So here we've got a clear explicit hadith that Nabi Sallallahu made a surah and a Surah Fatiha and a surah in all three rakats, right?
So we were new, we didn't know Arabic.
So yeah, so one is we got remember we always try to say, I try always to give a naqli dalil and a aqli dalil. A naqli dalil means proof from the hadith or sunnah, and aqli means a logical hadith. So the clear proof from the hadith is what I told you, قرأ في الأولى بسبح اسم ربك الأعلى وفي الثانية قل يا أيها الكافرون وفي الثالثة قل هو الله أحد. So that is the clear what you say, the naqli dalil. The aqli dalil, the logical proof, is quite interesting. Imam Sahib says, look, even though we say the witr namaz is wajib, but it is not established from the Quran. It is not established from mutawatir. It is established from ahad sunnat. So in that sense, it resembles the sunnat. You understand what I'm saying? Listen nicely what I'm saying. This is a deep fiqh point. It is not like, the 5-day daily salat that is proven from the Quran or proven from mutawatir hadith. It is proven from khabri ahad. What is it? The khabri ahad is not Quran, it is not mutawatir hadith. It is those hadiths, but not as much that way you cannot imagine they would conspire to lie. So because it is proven khabri ahad, we say it is established from the sunnah. What is it? So from this angle, it resembles the sunnah salah. From this angle, it resembles So since it resembles the sunnah salah from this angle, it will be like the sunnah salah. In the sunnah salah, in the first two rakats and the second two rakats, you have to read a Surah Fatiha in a Surah. That is why if in your Faraz namaz, if in the second two rakat you left out Surah Fatiha by mistake, we left out, there's no sajda sound, nothing. But in Sunnat namaz, whether it is like Sunnat before Zohar, Sunnat after Zohar, or Sunnat before Isha, whatever, if you left out a Surah Fatiha or Surah in the second Salah, then the normal laws of living a wajib outcomes, that is, if it was intentional, then you have to repeat it. If it was unintentional, then you can make sajda sahu, right? And if you don't make the sajda sahu, you have to repeat it after that, right? So this is interesting that, some angles it resembles a farz in the sense that if you leave it out, you get a sin. And in this angle, that because it's not proven from the Quran and mutawatir hadith, but rather it's proven from khabri ahad. So in that sense, it resembles a sunnat. And in a sunnat, we know in all the rakats, is Surah Fatiha and a surah is wajib. You understood that properly? Right. So that's also interesting. Like I told you, besides learning the masla, we're learning the reasoning. That if something's proven from the Quran, what the law will be. If it's proven from Khabri Ahad, what the law will be. This is what you call faqah, deep understanding. Carry on.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وإن أراد أن يقنط كبر لأن الحالة اختلفت ورفع يديه وقنت بقوله عليه الصلاة والسلام لا ترفع الأيدي إلا في سبع النوافل وذكر منها القنوت ولا يقنط في صلاة غيرها خلافا للشافعي في الفجر لما روى ابن رضي الله عنه أنه.
Okay, so now a little bit with regards to وإن أراد أن يقنط كبر. So now he's saying you in the third rakat, first till here the salah is normal, your witr namaz is exactly normal. Maybe till now the only difference is when you start, you say Allah in your mind, you have the intention of reading 3 rakats witr wajib. So now you read your surah in the third rakat, you read your surah Fatiha and you read your surah. So in arad yaqnuta, now it's only things left is the qunut. Right? Kabbara, you will say Allahu Akbar and you raise your hands. Now لأن الحالة قد اختلفت, because the condition has changed. ورفع يديه, and he will raise his hands. وقالت من القنوت لقول السلام لا ترفع الأيدي إلا في 7 مواطن وذكر منها القنوت, and he mentioned from القنوت. Okay, like I told you, we look at the ibarat again, but like I told you before, remember I always try to bring a naqli dalil and a aqli dalil. Naqli dalil means from the textual evidence and also a logical proof. So what's the textual evidence? We done in the beginning, we done this also hadith. You do it when you do a hadith, inshallah. Those that will join us also when we start with the Sayyida, the big books, you come across the hadith. That Nabi Sallallahu said that do not raise your hands except in 7 times. 7 times. And Nabi Sallallahu from amongst us, he mentioned the Rafa Yadayn, the beginning of the Salah. He mentioned each Salah, and he mentioned for one of them, when you make takbir in kunut. So that is our dalil and naqli. That is our textual evidence that we got the clear hadith. Then what is the logical proof? The logical proof is this here. That look here, you are reading a surah Fatiha and you're reading a surah. Now that is the place of kirat. Now you're going to be changing. You're going to normally, every posture has a different wazifa. Like, in ruku, you read a different posture. When you're standing, you make kirat. When you go in ruku, you read tasbih. Come to qawma, you read different tasbih. Then when you go to sajda, you make a different tasbih. Then you come up, jalsa, you make a different tasbih. Tashahhud, you make a different tasbih. So with the changing of your posture, your zikr also changes. So he's saying here, you are in the same posture, but your zikr is changing. So there must be something to show that you are moving from one condition to another condition. And here the way to show that you're moving from one condition to another condition is by making raf'a yadayn. You understand what I'm saying? So you do the raf'a yadayn to show that you are now moved from one condition to another condition. So it's to show that now, like how when you go from ruku to sajda, etc., to show that now you're moving. So same thing here. This is the logical proof to say that you are moving from one condition to another condition. So now read again, see, وَإِنْ أَرَادَ أَن يَقْنُتَ, when he intends now he's going to make his kunut, right, kabbara, he will say Allahu Akbar. Why must he say this? Why did he just from the surah jump into the kunut? Why? لأن الحالة قد اختلفت. Because you are changing from one thing, you are changing from the position of qiraat now to a special zikr. So you must have a separation. He will raise his hands. وقنت, and he will recite the qunut لقوله عليه السلام, because of the statement of the wisdom, لا ترفع الأيدي إلا في سبع مواطن, that the hands will not be raised except in 7 places, and وذكر منها القنوت, and he mentioned from that the qunut also. Let's just do one more ibarat before we switch over to the tafsir, inshallah. Read it.
ولا يكتب في صلاة غيرها خلافا للشافعي في الفجر لما رواه ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه أنه عليه الصلاة والسلام قنت في صلاة الفجر ثم تركه.
Okay, before we look at the kitab, let us understand this maslaya. We say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So far we said that you in witr throughout the year, whether it's you're reading individually throughout the year, or you're reading in Jamaat in Ramadan, or even if you're reading yourself in Jamaat, you miss the Jamaat, you're reading alone in Ramadan, or the ladies by the house, even they don't read Jamaat, they will recite the Qunut, right? Besides this, throughout the year, there is no Qunut. There is no Qunut according to Hanafi Madhab, except the Qunut in Nazila. Qunut in Nazila means when there is some difficulty affecting the Ummah. Then this Qunut in Nazila means Nazala Yanzilu, means like when there's a difficulty, like currently there's a difficulty in Gaza, you can read that Gaza, or sometimes maybe there was a flood in Pakistan, or there was a genocide in Bosnia, was a genocide in Sudan, whatever the ulama will said. So listen nicely now. So besides the kunut in witr, and at the time of a nazila, difficulty, you make kunut. Besides, there's no other kunut, right? So two, kunut of witr and kunut in nazila. This, and unlike the Shafis now, not witr now, we're switching. The Shafis believe that every day in the Fajr namaz you make kunut. Every day in the Fajr namaz, and when you come out from ruku, right? So we say no, we don't believe in the everyday kunut in Fajr namaz. We only believe at the time of difficulty when you make that kunut. See, وَلَا يَقْنُتُ فِي صَلَاةٍ غَيْرِهَا. You will not make kunut in any salah besides this witr. خلافا للشافعي, contrary to Imam Shafi. Why fil fajr? He says that you also make in fajr. What's our proof? لما روى ابن مسعود, because of Ibn Mas'ud, right? أنه عليه السلام نبيسم قنت في الفجر. He made kunut in fajr shahran for 1 month, ثم ترك, and he left it. So remember, there's a famous incident where the two tribes came to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and they received, we want some people to teach us. And the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent some of his best Sahaba Ikram to go and teach. And then these people, they slaughtered the Sahaba Ikram. The Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was so hard so that he made the kunut. So here's the clear hadith. As Mas'ud said, he made kunut for 1 month and he left it. So we said that this was kunut nazira. It was not a kunut, it was part of the salah. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I mentioned to you, there are many other proofs, but obviously that's not the scope of the fiqh book. The fiqh book is just to give the maslah. There's other proofs, what we say, that it was only a once-off thing. It wasn't a permanent feature of the Fajr namaz, etc. Okay, we'll stop there. We'll continue with this on Monday. So same link, we'll switch over to the tafsir, inshallah. We show me. Oh yeah. Okay. Just before Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. So we were discussing this masala about ya bani Adama khudhu zinatakum inda kulli masjid. Oh, you believe, take your adornments, take your beauty, and go to every place of worship. So we told you that khudhu zinatakum, one is to cover your basic essentials, sawatikum, and then fact that Allah Ta'ala used the word zina means that you also must be beautiful for your salah. You mustn't just go like covering the basics, right? And that's what we're discussing there. See there, وَهُوَ مَا يُوَارِ السَّوْءَةَ, it is that which you cover your aura. وَمَا سِوَى ذَلِكَ min jahidis buzzi, and what is beside that from the beauty of the clothes, wal mata'i, and the goods. فَأُمِرُوا أَيَخُذُوا زِينَتَهُمْ إِنَّ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ. They have been commanded that they will take the beauty, their beauty, right, the beautiful clothes to every masjid, every place of worship, in for every salah. ولهذه الآية ما ورد في معناه من السنة, and for this ayah there's also what is proven from the sunnah to support it. What يستحب التجمل, that it is mustahab to beautify yourself in the salati at the time of salah. So like I told you, with the men, when they go to the masjid, they shouldn't be just haphazard. Jubba, kurta, miswak, turban, and the woman also maybe at home, they shouldn't be just reading salah. Sometimes maybe the clothes are clean. The clothes is spark, but it's not beautiful. Maybe it's messed, it's dirty, cooking, whatever. So you got special apron that you wear the time of cooking. You got this messed with the food marks, etc., etc. Then also, while we're saying technically speaking, your salah will be done, your salah will be valid, but you shouldn't be reading salah like that. Think about whose presence you are standing in. Think about whose presence you're standing in front of. Rabbul Alameen. In this dunya, when you go to the court, then you have to be dressed in a certain manner. You have to be, have to be smart. You can't come with your tackies and your shorts and go to the court in front of the worldly judge. You're standing in front of Rabbul Alameen. So also, even for the women folk to be neat, smart, يستحب التجمل in the salati, and for the men, ولا سيما يوم الجمعة, on the day of Jum'ah, ويوم العيد, to wear your best clothes. That's why it comes in the hadith also that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he had a special jubba that he used to keep only for Eid days or Fridays. Then he used to take this out on the Eid day and he would wear it, right? Carry on. Right? وَالطِّيبُ لِأَنَّهُ مِنَ الزِّينَةِ, and also fragrance. Here he's saying for a man when he's going out to pray, obviously not for a woman, for a man when he's going out, this to put itar on, this comes under the hukum of zina. You say, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu khuzu zinatakum. This is under zina for a man. Carry on. وَالسِّوَاكُ, and also to make miswak لِأَنَّهُ مِنْ تَمَامِ ذَلِكَ. It is from the completion of that. It is from the completion of your salah. So from this you learn that also your mouth must be clean, especially for those people that put the burning sticks in their mouth. You know, get people, they put burning sticks in their mouth. You ever saw someone? Then they inhale from that smoke. They put the burning stick and they smoke that damages their lungs. You ever saw that? You never see anybody smoke in your life before. What is a cigarette? Is a burning stick? What is it? They put a burning stick and they inhale and smoke deeply. And they put a smoke in their lungs and they destroy their lungs and they damage their lungs. You never see that before. You saw it. Right. So obviously we're not discussing the possibility of smoking. That ulama says makruh tahrimi. But if you've got a bad odor in your mouth, maybe because you are smoking, or maybe even because maybe you ate something which has a strong smell, sometimes certain foods has a strong smell, or maybe naturally even you got a problem. Sometimes people, I think they call it in English, halitosis. Must Google it, halitosis. You got a bad smell in your mouth. So then it's important, firstly, because one is you are standing in front of Allah Ta'ala, you're speaking to Allah Ta'ala, so you thoroughly cleanse your mouth, or you eat a sweetie that takes the smell away, or that's one thing, is because you're standing in front of Allah Ta'ala, And even if you are going, like, you know what I'm saying, you are really going to a masjid, you will be standing next to other people. You don't want to inconvenience people. You can't. It's not permissible. That also, it comes in the hadith also. It's something like this. Inna al-malaikata yata'azza. Inna al-malaikata yata'azza minhu. Inna al-malaikata yata'azza ma yata'azza al-insanu minhu. The malaika are also inconvenienced from that which human beings are inconvenienced. So like how a human being is inconvenienced from a bad smell, from a foul smell, from malaika, they also inconvenienced with that, right? And so I tell you, for a man, it's two reasons. One is you speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and once you don't want to inconvenience your fellow Musalli with a bad odor. And for the woman also, obviously, they're not reading Jama'at, they're in the house, but they have to think that you are speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even if they ate, or maybe they ate something which, garlic, whatever, has a strong smell, hopefully, inshallah, the ladies don't smoke. I don't think any of them smoke, inshallah. So even that you do smoke, then you must thoroughly cleanse them out before, because you are speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So لِأَنَّهُ مِن تَمَامِ ذَلِكَ. So it is from the completion of the zina to have your mouth smelling pleasant. Right? Carry on. So min afdal libasi al-bayadu, from the most virtuous of clothes is white. For the men folk, the best clothes is to wear white. For the women folk, the best clothes also is that which is less attractive. Carry on. Right. Proof of that is كما قال الإمام أحمد. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he narrates on the authority of Ibn Abbas, مرفوع relation to this, directly attributed to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, Nabi said, إلبثوا من ثيابكم البياض, that wear from your clothes white, فإنها من خير ثيابكم, it is the best of your clothes, right? وكفنوا فيها موتاكم, right? Carry on. Yeah. Then وَكَفِّنُوا فِيهَا مَوْتَاكُمْ, and bury your dead in white. Because so that's also, so we mostly bury the people in white, but obviously it is musta'ab, but it's not farz or compulsory or something like that. If there's no availability of white, like you see now, at one stage, you saw the videos coming through from Gaza, in that they were actually burying the people in the normal blankets, because at one stage there was no white cloth, there was no. You saw the clips coming through. They were burying the people in the normal, the blessed. So obviously it's not nothing wrong. It's good to bury in white, because white is a preferred color of Allah. Nabi Sallam loved white, but there's no sun, right? So وَكَفِّنُوا فِيهَا مَوْتَاكُمْ. Then وَإِنَّ خَيْرَ أَكْحَالِكُمُ الْإِثْمِدِ, the best antimony. We say in Urdu, we say surma. They call it, I think, in kajal and kajal. This is to put on your eyes. Is a brand called Ismid. This is a separate subject matter. فإنه يجل البصر ويميت الشعر. So Ismid is a particular brand of a particular type of what you say, antimony that you put on your eyes. Normally, when you go to Saudi, you can get it. So yeah, according to the hadith, this creates a luster, a glow. It improves your eyesight, and also helps وَيُنْبِتُ الشَّعْرَ, with the growth of your hair, etc. So it's from this we see also it is Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned it with the white clothes, and we know normally white clothes is for Friday. So if you can also put this Ismid on a Friday, inshallah, it will also be mustahab, right? You also get that reward. Carry on. So what is Imam Ahmad? And also another hadith of the authority of Imam Ahmad, right? وأهل السنة, from أهل السنة, عن سمرة بن جندب, on the authority of Samurah al-Jundub, he said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, عليكم بالثياب البياض, and عليكم becomes a compulsion. Hold firm to white clothes. فَالْبَسُوهَا, wear it. فَإِنَّهَا أَطْهَرُ, it is more pure. When something is white, if it get dirty, you can see easily it's dirty, right? Right? So and it is more cleaner, purer. وَكَفِّنُوا فِيهَا مَوْتَاكُمْ, and shroud in it your disease. ويروى أن تميم الداري اشترى رداءه بألف وكان يصلي فيها. Narrated that Tamim Dari, this is the famous Sahabi, that the one who met Dajjal on the island. Inshallah, we'll be doing this hadith soon in Mishkaat Shareef. We were excited and he came to tell Nabi Sallam, we're traveling the ocean and the ocean was passing us around and we came to this, right? So he's Tamim Dari. Ishtara rida'an bi alfin. He bought a cloth for 1,000. وَكَانَ يُصَلِّ فِيهِ, and he used to read salah with it. Carry on.
قوله تعالى الآية جمع الله
But you know, we have to protect the deen of Allah. Anybody who bless
Right. So coming back to the statement, we said, وَقَوْلُ تَعَالَى وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا. قال بعض السلف جمع الله الطب كله في نصف الآية. With regards to this verse here, Allah Ta'ala has gathered the entire essence of medicine in this. Tibba kulla in half an ayah. Now, like we told you earlier, that the main problem is from your stomach. Now you are what you eat. You show unhealthy things, unwholesome things, chemical food, chemical laced food in your body, right? Carry on.
ما شئت وانقش ما شئت ما أخطأت ما أخطأت ثاني شرف
Right. Imam Bukhari said, وقال البخاري, he said, narrated, قال ابن عباس, كل ما شئت, eat what you want. والبس ما شئت, wear what you want. ما أخطأتك خصلتان. How you translate ما أخطأتك خصلتان? Two things should not miss you. What is it? Huh? Two things will not أخطأتك miss you. صرف ومخيلة, wastage and stinginess, miserliness. You can do what you can eat, you can drink, but not the two things come. Two things should not miss you. That is wastage and stinginess. The two things mustn't come there. Carry on. Yeah, same thing. Allah Ta'ala has made halal eating and drinking ما لم يكن صرفا أو مخيلة, as long as you are not extravagant, or as long as you are not overstingy. You're depriving yourself and your family and those people responsible for not even giving them the basic needs, right? Another hadith to support the same thing, that Allah Ta'ala has made halal for you to eat. Allah Ta'ala has made haram for you to eat. As long as you don't go overboard, eat, drink, whatever. من غير مخيلة ولا صرف, and give in charity without being overly stingy, without being over extravagant. Carry on. Yeah, so more guidelines. فإن الله يحب أن يرى نعمته على عبده. Allah Ta'ala loves that He sees His favor upon His servant. So Allah Ta'ala has blessed you with wealth. So now you are not even wearing proper clothes, wearing torn clothes, broken clothes. So Allah Ta'ala loves when He's blessed you with something, then what's in moderation? What's in moderation that you must see that ni'mat on you, right? إن الله يحب أن يرى نعمته على عبده, right? Not a license to go overboard and be over extravagant, but at least something presentable, decent. Because some people, they are so stingy that despite Allah Ta'ala having blessed them, they're still wearing old, torn, tattered, broken clothes, driving a broken vehicle, etc. Carry on. Yeah, we're getting several guidelines from the Quran and from the Sunnah with regards to eating, drinking. And if you look at the common theme, the common thread between all of them is you must enjoy, you can provide for your family, but not within the not being overly extravagant. Another hadith here. قال ما مل ابن آدم وعاء الشر من بطنه. Ibn Adam, that was mankind, did not throw a utensil worse in his stomach. In other words, when you eat also, you must not eat so much that you can't even stand up. That's why the hadith comes the hadith that your stomach should be divided into three portions: one third for food, one third for drink, and one third must be remain empty. With excessive eating, overeating, it is the cause of many sicknesses. Again, kulu washrabu wa la tusrifu innahu la yuhibbul musrifin. So the worst thing you can fill up to its capacity, the worst thing you can fill up to the brim is your stomach, because it is like we said, it is a starting point for many diseases. Right. Carry on. حسب ابن آدم يقول حسب ابن آدم أكلات يقمن صلبه. It's sufficient for Ibn Adam that he have a few morsels that keeps his back straight. So what he's saying is, like how we say, eat to love, don't love to eat. So it is sufficient. It is sufficient. حسب ابن آدم أكلات. So أكلات, like that is the file. That a few morsels and yukim nasulbau is the jumlah areas become the sifat. So a few morsels, akalatun, yukim nasulbau that keeps up his back is sufficient for him. You don't have to go overboard and eat till you can't stand up, you can't walk, become obese, you have to be carried from place to place. You need a wheelchair because they are so fat, you need to be carried, right? Yeah. So فإن كان فاعلا فلا محالة. So if you want to eat more than what just to keep you alive, then let it be this much, not more than this. So فإن كان, if he wants to, فإن كان فاعلا لا محالة, definitely if you want to eat more, you want to eat more than that must keep you alive, then this is the limit. فثلث لطعامه, one third of the stomach for the food, وثلث لشرابه, one third for his drink, وثلث لنفسه, one third for his breath, for his air, right? Subhanallah. It comes in a hadith that inna min as-saraf an ta'kula kulla mashtahait. From extravagance is that you eat everything you desire. Now you want the chocolate, you eat the chocolate. Now you want the Coke, now you buy Coke. Now you're listening for chips, now you buy chips. Now you want the Doritos, now you buy Doritos. So to, to, to fulfill every need, even though your body doesn't need it. And that was like how they say in English, your eyes is bigger than your stomach. You eat with your eyes, not with your stomach. You know your stomach needs a certain amount, and your eyes want more than that even. So everything that you see you want to eat, that is considered to be saraf, is considered israf, is considered to be waste.
قال الشريف كان الذين يصلون في البيت الصلاة
يحرمون عليهم
عليهم
الودك الدسمة. Yeah. وقال السري كان الذين So what is the relevance of this verse with, Tawaf is saying وإذا فعلوا فاحشة, they were doing this, in the Hajj, and the end of his kulu washrabu. What they used to do is كان الذين يطوفون بالبيت عراة, those people used to make tawaf of the bayt naked, right? عراة يحرمون عليهم الودك, they used to make haram like the fat or a certain type of food. الدسمة ما أقاموا, as long as they were in the Hajj season there. So like we told, يا أيها النبي لما تحرموا ما أحل, why are you making haram شرط من الحلال, right? So Allah Ta'ala is rebuffing them, is rebuking them. Why are you making that which is halal haram upon yourself, right? Can you reading, Rashid? وقال الله تعالى لهم
واشربوا الآية يقول لا تسرفوا.
So Allah Ta'ala rebuffs them, rebukes them. كلوا واشربوا لا تسرفوا في التحريم. Do not go overboard in making things haram which are not haram. When something is made halal, why, right?
وقال مجاهد أمرهم أن يأكلوا ويشربوا مما رزقهم.
So Imam Mujahid, one of the famous Mufassirin, says, Allah Ta'ala amara man yakulu wa yashrabu mimma razaq. Eat and drink from that which Allah Ta'ala has given, right?
ولا تسرفوا ولا تأكلوا حراما ذلك الإسراف.
Yeah. So he said, Rahman ibn Zayd al-Asam, he says, with regards to this verse, وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا, do not waste. What it means, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا حَرَامًا, ذَلِكَ الْإِسْرَافِ. Israf is to eat haram, to eat that which has been forbidden, right?
يقول الله تعالى إن الله لا يحب المسرفين وحده حلال.
Subhanallah. This verse, Inna Allah, Inna la yuhib al-musrifin. Normally we translate it, Allah Ta'ala does not love the wasters. But here he says, Yaqulu Allah Ta'ala, Inna Allah la yuhib. So Ibn Jarir says what it means is, Inna Allah la yuhib al-mu'atadeen haddaw fi halal wa haramin. Allah Ta'ala does not love those people who transgress the bounds in halal and haram. In other words, when Allah Ta'ala said this is halal, clearly it's halal. You just clear proof for you to say it's haram is not permissible. When Allah Ta'ala said clearly this is haram, then you try to make it halal. We're not speaking about the mushtabat, al-halal, we done al-halal bayinun, wal-haramu bayinun, wa baynahuma umurun mushtabahat. That's different. Here we're speaking about something being clearly halal, something being clearly haram, then you from your own side want to make it opposite. You know, make the halal haram or to make the halal. This is musrifin, right? Al-ghalina. Yeah, so al-ghalina, those who go overboard, fima, in that which, fima ahalla bi ihlal harami, in that which he makes halal by making halal haram, or bi tahrim halal, or by making haram the halal. Right, carry on. So, ولكن Allah Ta'ala يحب, loves أن يحلل ما أحل. Allah loves that you consider halal that which He made halal, ويحرم ما حرم, and that you consider haram which He has made haram. وذلك العدل الذي أمر به. That is justice, that you accept what Allah Ta'ala has done. Don't make your own tahrif. Do not change the words of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Thus we'll stop there. We'll continue the tafsir tomorrow, inshallah.